Hey, goofs and gaffs! Are you familiar with the English rock band Pink Floyd? Yeah. Oh,
Hi, Pete.
I'm surprised you are familiar with the Pink Floyd. I thought you were more of a 1920s ragtime boy. Dude, I was born in the 70s. That was Pink Floyd's prime. You couldn't avoid them. Oh yeah? Name 9 of their songs. Time, Money, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, Comfortably Numb, Anna Part Mother, Echoes, Fearless, Young Lust, High Hopes. Do you know any of those songs, viewers at home? This band made them. Why are you asking about Pink Floyd anyway? You're borderline on being Gen Alpha. You should be talking about Skibbity Toilet. Ha ha ha! Fuck you, Pete. I'm a rebel. I was born in the wrong generation, says the autistic trans woman. I love Pink Floyd. Why are you telling me this? I don't care. Because in this video, we're looking at Pink Floyd's first album ever, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, the beginning of their musical journey. That was nowhere close to the beginning of their musical journey. We're talking about The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and you're going to like it. Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm going to play cards at the Legion, which is where old people play cards. I would know. Because I'm old. Wow, he sure is old, isn't he? Let's laugh at him. Piper at the Gates of Dawn was released in the summer of '67. It would be really funny if this was released in the summer of '68, but you had other ideas.
Pink Floyd.
The album was released to generally positive reviews, establishing them as one wacky band. Their sound, especially in their early albums, is famous for its psychedelia and whimsy. Keep in mind, the 60s were a decade already known for being the peak of hippie culture, which was famously counterculture and, yes, psychedelic. The fact that this little band stood out against a sea of swirling colors is honestly a really impressive feat. With that said, I love Pink Floyd a lot. And I remember listening to this album in high school and really liking it. I think it holds up as a solid first album with no real low points in it. That being said, I've come to have many opinions about Pink Floyd's discography, including this album. I plan on sharing my opinions on every Pink Floyd album, but in this video, I'm going to focus on reviewing and ranking every song in Piper at the Gates of Dawn. A couple short rules before we start. Firstly, I'm not looking at any music videos. They will have no impact on where songs are placed on this list, and I probably won't even talk about them in general. My reviews will be focused on 4 key elements: the music, the lyrics, the vocals, and my favorite category, the vibes. I'm going to review these points informally, as I'm not an expert on music theory or whatever, but bear with me here. I will try to explain myself. Alright, let's get into the first song, which is actually going to be the worst song on this album, because something that piques my interest with this album is its religious subtext. Pink Floyd will explore religion in future songs, but Piper at the Gates of Dawn does it the most. Flaming is a solid example of that. The image this one puts in my mind, with the contrast of joyful music and eerie lyrics, makes me imagine an intimidating god. One who takes joy in keeping an unflinching eye on their subjects, and tries to make their oppressive ways seem fun and innocent. It reminds me of songs like Tally Hall's Misery Fell. Now that I say it out loud, it also kind of reminds me of 1984. That being said, it is carried by that personal interpretation, which is not a good thing. The music is kind of fun, but it feels repetitive in its composition. I like the recording process so goddamn fucking much, guys. It's so cool. That's why I'm putting so much effort into it right now. By doing it in my fucking car. Cause that's the point we're at now. The music is kind of fun, but it feels repetitive in its composition. The instruments loop between notes a lot, and it just sounds annoying.
This is particularly noticeable with the keyboard. It does not sound good looped in this song. It sounds annoying. Overall, the music isn't awful. It just doesn't come together and it feels really repetitive. The lyrics just feel stale after the first half. The first couple verses are good, but they nosedive into aimlessness pretty quickly after. It just doesn't feel like it evolves much after the first half, which is kind of disappointing. The vocals are also fine. I like their higher, floatier pronunciation. It matches the deceptively soft nature of the song, while helping the song to stand out decently well on its own. That being said, I prefer the vocals on most other songs on this album. With all that in mind, this one gets a high five! Get it? Because high fives are a thing that exists. This is why you should subscribe, because I'm so fucking funny.
The one that started the whole thing!
Wow, guys! I can't wait to finally start this ranking series! Time to listen to their first song on their first album. 4 minutes later. That was really lame! Here's the thing. Astronomy Domine is a solid song for the first minute. The music evokes the space rock vibe, a perfect opener for this epic band. It sounds like we're blasting through the space. The first set of lyrics is also really solid. They're wacky, but powerful in the image they create. Everything here just makes for a strong opening. Then the rest of the song happens, and it's completely stagnant in every single way. Yay! I truly believe that songs don't need to evolve or be complicated to be good. Hell, this album, more than any other, is clearly designed with simplicity in mind. Shorter song structure, lighter themes, and a more fun tone. Some of my top songs for this album are simple in a lot of ways. However, those are songs that don't need to evolve because they are simple. It's like asking Talking Tom for good dating advice. Dog, you're cooked. Like, dog, you're cooked. I'm sorry. Those songs are all they need to be, and that's what makes them good. Astronomy Domine feels like a song that should evolve, like, by design. It feels like we're being blasted off into space, which is, again, a perfect opening for this band. As such, I expect this song to feel like it's constantly moving forward. But no! We can't change in a way that works to the song's benefit. That would be silly. We need to stay lyrically and musically stagnant by doing nothing unique outside of the opening fucking verses. Because that's a great idea. I'm not ranking this song here because it's bad. It's a 6 out of 10. I'm ranking it here because it could have been so much more, but it wasn't because this band's so— Sorry, I didn't mean that. Love you, Floyd. I can't rank this any higher though. DJ Lock fun fact. I used to have this song way higher on the list. Time has not treated the song well. The music is fine. It has more of a bassy tone to it, like something you'd hear in a spy movie. That's kind of cool. It just feels kind of undercooked with a lot of looping motifs and bare composition. The vocals are also fine. They're kind of flat, but they're fine. That's how I describe this song. Flat and fine. It feels like this could be the base for a song, but there needs to be a bit more spice for it to be really good. It's a fine addition to the album. It's really not bad. It's just kind of inoffensive and boring. But, you ask, what are the lyrics? They are some of the most forgettable, bare bones, and boring on this entire album. Singing about cats doesn't make the lyrics good. The lyrics still feel underdeveloped. With most of these songs, they're short and catchy enough to where I can at least remember 1 or 2 clear lyrics. With this song, nothing sticks in my mind. It's fine, but nothing that'll stand out to me after this segment. Wait, what were we talking about? Did you know that the Pink Floyd song, Chapter 24, is lyrically inspired by the Book of Changes, which is an ancient Chinese tome? Thank Wikipedia for this information. I can't give the lyrics as much credit here since they are literally taken from a pre-existing source, but they fit the song well. They make you feel like a wisdom person. Anyway, let's talk about the music, because my opinion on that has definitely changed the most. I didn't really care for the song when I first heard it. My main complaint was that the music was bare bones compared to most of the album, but it's grown on me over time. It's serene with some neat melodies. It's a perfect vibe for reading chapter 24 in the Book of Changes. At least, that's what I assume. The song's vocals actually help out a lot with that. They're very calm and pronounced. At the same time, they're pronounced with a certain floatiness to them, which is also cool and a positive thing that I put in the script. Overall, a softer song that has some solid lyrics and a unique organ sound. Hear me out. You rank this above astronomy domain. You know what? Fuck it. That's the take. Sure. The cough actually kind of wraps back around into working, even though it was obviously a failed take. But whatever. It's KJ Log. I really do not care about audio quality. Everything else is perfect, but specifically the audio is dog shit. It is awful. And that is the brand that we're going with here. In order to talk about this song, I want to talk about sound painting. Even if this isn't technically a use of sound painting, and sound painting wasn't invented until the 1970s, knowing the concept will help us understand the song's overall appeal. Sound painting is a musical language created by Walter Thompson, used to create improvisational compositions by conducting performers using hand signals. These improvised pieces can often sound interesting, to say the least. Since seeing more sound painting and actually learning all of the sound painting skills in my sound painting class that I took with a certified sound painting professor, I've actually learned to appreciate this art form for what it is: weird abstract noise. Guess what this song can be described as? This song does sound more planned in its composition than something like But it has that abstract appeal with its doy-doys and other strange noises. It's unique in a way that still sounds like an actual song. Keep this point in mind for future rankings. The instruments really elevate this one. The opening has an atmospheric force vibe, where all sorts of wacky folklore creatures reside and prance about. Why the fuck am I writing this in the script? I also love the parts where they focus on the piano. The middle fills with peril, especially with the tonal shift of the vocals and the focus on the big booming drums. Then it rises, the energy rises, until it calms in the final minute, and goes into this super serene, whispery fizzle. What the fuck is this, dude? Then, to top it off, a moment of unbridled chaos before it ends. Gee willikers! I love how this seemingly simple song can evolve musically to create a significantly better product. That's right, Astronomy Domain. You stack of sh-! I'm ranking it here because I still think the songs above it are better overall, but I'm so glad I've come to appreciate this underrated gem. What the heck? This one is just really charming, I'm sorry. It has the methodic cadence of a nursery rhyme. In particular, I really love the soft guitar combined with the vibraphone and cymbals adding a calm melody. This song is especially fun to sing aloud. It so effortlessly invites you to join in on the silly shenanigans of Grimble Gromble with catchy lyrics and vocal delivery. Fun names in the song, by the way. They're silly. They're silly! I don't have much to say about this one. It's a simple song that I really like. It doesn't evolve much, but I don't mind that here because it never feels stagnant. The lyrics flow well, and they tell a cute story about some gnomes. To reference an old fairy tale, it's not too hot or too cold. It's just right. If I had to complain about something, I do think the vocals can get a little too whispery in some parts. It's like I'm listening to Gnome ASMR. I also think the chorus is a little whatever. It's not bad, but I don't care for it lyrically. Other than that, good shit. Had a sweet time with it? Hooray! Hooray is a lyric in the song, and that's why I'm saying it.
And I think I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
Wait, scare? Similar to the gnome, this one feels like a poem in the best way possible. I love the way this song describes the Scarecrow, TM. The chorus is only one line, and it just describes the setting in the most basic way possible. And there's only 3 short stanzas here. As such, each stanza reads like a short poem. Each one is different, yet they all come together to paint such a simple yet abstract image of the Scarecrow. It's just a scarecrow. There's no other possible interpretation of the text here. What makes the simplicity more apparent is the instruments. They focus heavily on the percussive side and have that lead the rest of the song. It has such a consistent yet energized pace to it. It has this distinct sense of direction and okay, whatever. Overall, a great little ditty that I could loop for hours. I almost wish it were longer, but there's a charm to how short and sweet this one is. For real. Hashtag Scarecrow in real life. Interstellar Overdrive marks Pink Floyd's first notable attempt at a really long song, with it being over twice as long as the rest of the tracks on this album. You know, the songs that are really long compared to most of their discography? Yeah, those songs. That being said, this is a great attempt. It feels non-linear in a good way, like a mini concert of sorts. Just a bunch of cool songs mashed together into one musical package, even without lyrics. This one is so memorable and so fun! What the fuck is this? Anyway, it's really fun just to sit down and digest. It's also fun to walk with. It's also fun to do anything in the entire world with. I always find myself enjoying this song when I listen to 90% of it in one sitting. Notice how I said 90%. The other 10% is some of Pink Floyd's worst music. Now, you may be thinking, TJ Locke, what could possibly be in this song that's so bad? Well, let's just say, try listening to the last minute of this song with headphones. It kinda sounds completely unbearable. I get kinda nauseous listening to it. You know when videos have those really fast flashing lights, the ones that warn seizure warnings? Yeah. On headphones, this sounds like an audio version of that. I'm not fucking around. I've gotten headaches from this song. It is the worst sounding thing on this album by far. Why did they do this? What purpose does it serve other than to sound terrible? I highly doubt anyone likes. Grrr. I crashing. Oh my god, someone is standing right outside. Imagine if they hear this shit. That shit would be hilarious. I'm so sorry to that random person out there, dude. I'm sorry you have to be subject to this. That being said, the rest of the song is very good, and I like it a lot. Just don't listen after 8 minutes. Your ears will thank you. I will not do a take 2 for this. We're moving on.
I want to ride my bike.
This is a solid 1 minute and 45 second song. The vocals are super wacky and fun, and the lyrics are good and catchy and memorable. They're kind of creepy in some parts, like with the gingerbread man, and I don't know why there are those moments where everything becomes creepypasta Sonic EXE moment. I'm sure it's nothing. Overall, a fun, whimsical romp that I will sing to myself Wow, I am currently past the 1 minute and 45 seconds of this song. that means the album is over. I really liked this. Yeah, this song is definitely elevated by the second half. The first half on its own would still be solid and probably get to like 6th on the list, maybe, or like 7th. But no, this part is too awesome to be beaten by the no. The second half is so jarring and atmospherically disturbing, and I genuinely really love that about it. It clashes, but in a way that somehow feels harmonious in the context of the song. To me, it'll always aid in my headcanon that the song is about a guy going to hell after giving into the devil's temptation. And then the laughing at the end, that shit is actual peak Pink Floyd laughter. Pink Floyd laughter in this case is their signature trend of using laughter in their songs. And this laughter? When I first heard this part, it immediately stuck in my mind. I need you to understand, I hear this creepy, droning, mocking laughter whenever I think about this song. Anyway, great music. It's very atmospheric. And the rest of the song is pretty good too. I just wish the laugh wasn't so damn infectious. I am quoting the fucking script right now. Mommy! Mama! I just really like Matilda Mother. The lyrics are based on a collection of similar to chapter 24. However, whereas that song felt like it repeated some of the lyrics, Matilda Mother feels lyrically varied throughout. The words here are memorable because they are words, and I hear them in the song, and I remember them. They evoke this strong sense of imagination in me, like I'm reading a tale of the fairies. Apparently, this song was written to evoke the feeling of childhood nostalgia, and I definitely felt that influence here. If you get wind, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with it in editing. The calm, soothing vocals really help with that. This album has a dreamlike quality to it already, and the song is definitely a prime example of that with its sound. The vocals here make it sound like I'm being sung a lullaby. The way words are pronounced throughout, what the fuck? And then of course, we have the music, the tunes. They're great. The song has a medieval sound to it. I can't really explain why I feel that way, but I hope you understand anyway. Sorry. Anywho, the music is very good, and I do not care about the car outside. We are continuing the shit and getting it done. And everything else is very good. Matilda Mother, however, is number 2 on the list, and not number 1. That means...
Yep, that is true. I thought you went to cards. Well, I'm back. Did you win? I'm 200 up. What? I'm 200 up. I'm 200 up in cards. What does that mean? I don't know what you're saying. It means I made more money than your channel. Did you interrupt me just to make that joke? Yes, I did. Can you please leave? Got $200.
You get nothing. You lose.
I have to keep reminding myself in my head not to call myself fat because that's mean to myself. Yes, this is turning into a Kijilok therapy session. Fuck you. This song is way too much fun to rank it any lower. Take Up Thy Stethoscope is arguably the most energized song in Pink Floyd's entire discography. It has this raw psychedelic chaos that I absolutely adore. Its composition is so all over the place that it loops back around into being genius. You never really know where it's going to go next. It keeps you fully engaged, waiting for each new beat, each new wacky melody it pulls out of its ass. And I love it. The lyrics that are here are some of the best on this album. And the thing is, most of them are only a couple words, yet this song manages to do so much with so little. That's what she said. Okay, Pete. Dog. I'm recording. In my fucking car. Get out of my car now! Get out of my car! Every lyric here is incredibly memorable. Hell, I could recite the opening for you right now. Hang on. I'm gonna do this unedited. I'm in bed. aching head, gold is lead, choke on bread, underfed, gold is lead, Jesus bled, pain is red, dog doom. Gold go, greasy spoon, you swoon, June bloom. I think I got like maybe one or two words wrong, but most of that is right. I'm pretty sure. If you couldn't tell, the lyrics here also follow a pretty basic 3-syllable structure, except for the ending, which we'll talk about shortly. For this song specifically, I like that structure. I think it works for the fast-paced, chaotic nature of it. Thanks to the vocals, the opening comes off more like a series of quick exclamations, which perfectly fits the tone of this song. I'm so fucking excited about Pink Floyd, guys. That's the point of this whole fucking video. I would not be making this if I wasn't excited about Pink Floyd. Whoa. Now, I will talk about the
Ending.
which is the exact opposite of the
Opening.
The music becomes slower here. It feels like a low point in its energy. Then it slowly begins to build, with instruments being added as it rises and grows. The lyrics come in, they're increased in length. It sounds like one continuous flow of thought. The vocals sound different, nasally, alien, strange. It continues to build and build. Then, it bursts one final time as the final lyric is sung. Realize, realize, realize. End song. Easily a 9 out of 10. Or maybe an 8 out of 10. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the thing yet. I just heard someone outside. Hopefully I'm not going to get murdered. I don't exactly want to get murdered today. Please don't murder me. That would be very scary and I would hate that. Easily a 9 out of 10 and number 1 on this list of all of the Piper at the Gates of Dawn songs. Number 0. No, imagine. Piper at the Gates of Dawn is very good. It's probably one of Pink Floyd's most consistent albums quality-wise. Except for Flaming and Stethoscope, everything here stays soundly in the 6 to 8 range. There's no real low points, nor are there any 10 out of 10 masterpieces. That definitely made comparing these songs harder, and it meant I had to shuffle songs around quite a bit. But the album itself is pretty enjoyable to talk about. I would happily listen through all of it again, except for that 1 minute in fucking Interstellar Overdrive, and also maybe Flaming or Lucifer Sam. Everything else I would gladly listen to again, no questions asked. Did past tense. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now as I write the script. This album is simple by design in a lot of ways, as I've mentioned. With that in mind, I want to briefly bring up Syd Barrett here. He was leading the band for, this album, and, he was also there for the next one, A Sauce Full of Secrets, but I don't think he was as involved with that, but he was very involved here, yeah. His influence here is especially apparent. He brought this whimsical yet high energy, which is always delightful. Even some of the slower songs here, like Chapter 24 and Matilda Mother, are great. I'll talk more about why he left when I review the next album, but I want to take this segment to show Syd Barrett some respect. I know there's a lot of stuff surrounding his departure and later life, but I don't know. I like his music. I think he was talented, I guess. At the end of the day, he sure was a guy. A family guy.